Welcome to RGR. This is going to be a fun one. I hadn't planned on doing this live, but had a problem with my software, so I didn't get it pre-recorded for you. So we're all going to do this live tonight, a mock draft for the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to RGR Football. Okay. So we are back, folks. This is going to be a fun one. I'm glad that you guys made it. Wasn't scheduled this way. It wasn't planned this way, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a good time with it. It'll be very similar to what I do when I normally do a mock draft. I'll share my screen here in a minute, but I just want to say, if you are new to the channel or you're just seeing this pop up, go ahead and click the like and the sub and the bell notification so you know what comes next. Dan did film yesterday. Go check out Dylan Radens. See what you think of him. I'd like to know in the comments as well. Hey, nice FLDB. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. We're going to address that offensive line probably right off the top. We'll see how it falls. Now, a couple of things. I'm going to go through this, and like you guys know, I've just started my film reviews. Like, I have some basic ideas from watching live games, but we're going to go through what we know. And, we'll make it up as we go at the end, which will probably be prospects that I've never seen or paid attention to if they were on the field. So, hey, nice to see you, Spicy. I'm glad you guys made it. I know this is last minute, but pretty cool. Hope that more folks can join. It'll be fun. So what we're going to do here, first, if you guys want to super chat, feel free. I appreciate it very much, and it always helps the channel. Make sure you say something or throw your pick out if you do super chat or super sticker. Appreciate that. Glad to see you, Jake. A little bit off the cuff tonight, so it's going to be a good time. Let's see. Andrew's got a question already. I'm going to try to – I'll answer it if I can, Andrew. Let's see. Let's put it up on the screen. Maybe that'll help. I got two screens working tonight, you guys. So I know definitely isn't a first-round draft pick, but thoughts on getting Matt Busherman out of BYU in the 5th round. Didn't play his senior year due to an injury and had a great junior year. And I do believe that I have BYU film from 2019. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I couldn't tell you one thing about him right now. So, but thanks for throwing that out, Adam or Andrew, and I will put him on the list. So anybody wants to super chat, feel free. We'll throw out those picks. I'm gonna have a Space Camper Giga Hop tonight if I can get that to focus. Hope you guys are gonna enjoy something. Anybody out there at Boulevard, cheers to you. I appreciate that. Why not? Reaching is always a tough subject. Here's the thing: there will be a lineman with a first-round grade at 31, guaranteed. This tackle class in particular is really, really, really deep. I don't think that the high end is there, but I think the depth is really there. So it won't be a problem. And if there's somebody better than the tackles, that's fine. We'll have to go off of what we know when we know it. And so these mocks will evolve. That's why we're going to do so many of them this year. Just because with back-to-back Super Bowls, our time on film has actually been pretty limited compared to years past. So we're going to kind of do this as we go, and you guys will see the evolution right here on the channel. So, again, if any of you are new, make sure you get liked and subbed and that kind of thing. Let's see. Anybody else? Let's see. Oh, that was – yeah, I'm with you. Same question for him or from Why Not? Let's see. Kevin, double dip on the O-line. Yeah, we'll see if it comes out that way. I'm sure there'll be opportunities. Jerry, thanks for the super chat. How about tackle, guard, and center in the first 3 rounds? We'll see how it goes. I doubt it. I am gonna try to take the best player available that they can get something out of. So, if it's, I'm not going safety in the first round. With Thornhill and Tyron there, that's probably not going to work out that way. But best player available at a position that you can use, I think that's going to be it. We're not going to reach for a specific position. It's going to get anywhere that we get. We're going to use it however we can. So a lot of members in here. Glad to see you guys. Eric Schneider, Rock Chalk back at you. Change the color scheme for tonight just because, NFL red and blue, KU red and blue. Sorry, Mizzou fans, forgive me. You guys are going to be good too. That's a good question, Ralph, or a good point. In this, we're going to get tons of trade offers when we start this thing up. I'm not going to do the trades tonight. just because like it's going to get really complex really fast. Normally when I do that, and I will do one probably next week where I do the trades, and we'll go from there. That allows me the time to do, all the things that go into researching what the value is and that kind of thing. I'll give you a first little look at what these offers are. And we're going to use the Draft Network's machine tonight to go through it and get our process going. Let's see, anybody else? Status. I know that Dan has looked at the wide receivers. I have not yet. I'm starting on defense. We're kind of splitting it up this year, and then we'll cross over and cross check each other, just like the actual scouting departments do. Jake, I think you met Easton. I think he was like their backup. Like he's not well graded. I'm not sure how well he fits. So there's Danilo. Yep. Oh, we'll be keeping an eye on him, Danilo. And I think next week we'll have a roundtable maybe on him or something like that. Danilo's going to have a video for you guys soon here too, you guys. So keep that in mind. I've also got a piece with Matt Derrick who came on the show this week. So we've got a few things coming for you. No, Delmont, you are perfectly on time. I'm doing my normal thing, kind of setup stuff. So, and I want to make sure that I get this. So yes, that is official, AG. The cap is at a minimum. The floor is 180. They haven't released the actual number yet, but they have updated to say the floor is 180. I don't know if they're going to be active. The trade deadline is not until October, so that's not a worry. It's just I just don't know how active they're going to be in free agency. Yes, Doug, that is the idea. We'll see how it falls tonight. No, Patrick, we will not be taking Bolton at 31. I guarantee you, he's a borderline third round pick in my mind. And I have done his film. So I'm pretty set on that until I see otherwise. So that said, let me share my screen and we're going to get into it. We're going to go over here and hopefully I won't have pop-ups. Maybe I'll just show the application window for that one. There we go. Bada boom. Okay. So now we have me in the corner. We have this here. Let me switch this so that hopefully, maybe not. Supposed to be able to pull that around, but evidently it isn't working. And let me hit full. No. Oh, I did get full screen on that. Good. But I want you guys to see my reactions as well. So anyway, this is the way we'll go for tonight since it's just two of us. So this is their draft machine. Anybody can go use this, guys. Feel free. And if you do, let us know what you think. I like that one, Kevin. I do not think they will move up, at least not in the first round. They might move up on day 2, but I don't think they're going to go up in the first round. I certainly wouldn't advise it because there's depth. Okay, is this going to be enough? I'm not sure it is. So I'm going to go full screen at this point and see if that looks better. Okay, so we're picking the Chiefs. This is the draft mock draft machine over here at Draft Network. You guys can jump in there too. So if you do, let me know what you find and what you liked about it. We're just going to use their base board. We're going to go manual, and I'm going to set it for 7 rounds. And I wanted to go kind of quick because we'll analyze after it runs through the picks. So this is your interface if you guys haven't been here before. And I'll zoom that a little bit so hopefully it's a little easier to see. It does kind of play around with the actual spacing of it if you do it too much. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Gonna go back there okay, there we go. So it plays with the spacing up and around the edge if you blow it up too much. But this is where we're going to get started. This, if you haven't been here before, this is the same one I think Dan used last week, and we're going to rotate through the different boards. We'll use some of the other mocks as well. And yeah, thank you, Doug. Good reminder. Hit the like button if you guys would. We'll try to get more folks in here. 130 so far. We're going to get more, I guarantee it. And so this is how you start the draft. You come in here and just click start, and it's going to start making the selections for you. This is really interesting. Zach Wilson, number 2. That would have to include a trade and getting Sam Darnold out of there. So there's our first trade offer. So we're currently at pick 23, and they want to get out of it, which doesn't make any actual sense. They would have gotten out of 3, not 23, if they were going to keep Darnold. So they want to give us 23 and 66, and they want us to give them 31, 63, so move them up, and a couple of late round picks. No, we're not doing that. I'm actually not going to take any of the offers tonight. That'll be the next week if I didn't already say that. Here's another one. Now, this comes up where we're on the clock. Luckily, this simulation, we're not actually on a clock. That I like. So this is an interesting scenario. This is from Washington. Now, trade back is what I would actually recommend for this draft because they have a lot of depth that they need to get. They need a couple of guys that can maybe rise into starter status, and they have a bunch of things that they need to get done. So I would actually recommend moving back from a 31. 31 is going to be, I think, a spot where people want to get up to. We're going to take a look at the board here in a second. But this is moving back all the way to 51. So dropping 20 spots is tough for me. Like I would put the outside edge at about 45, 46. Now they're going to give you a third rounder at 82. So that's actually a decent deal. I mean, it's not great, but it's decent. I'm not going to take it. I don't think I would even when I am doing the actual ones. So we'll take a look at this. This is moving back 5 spots, and they're only offering a 6. So there's no way that we're taking that. So then we take a look at it, and I'm going to look here. They have Nick Bolton as the best on the board. I do not agree with that. He's undersized. He plays downhill great. Not so certain about his coverage skills. I don't like him in zone, and I'm not sure he's going to get out and actually be able to stick with man coverage. So for what the Chiefs want to do specifically, I don't want anything near him until the 3rd round. The interesting thing is this could be a year where they change. They might not want to play coverage linebackers because they're really struggling with it lately. You have Willie who you think can do that. But here's the thing. If they chose to move away from the corner blitzes, the secondary blitzes, and actually get a downhill attacking linebacker, so he's your next blitzer. So instead of sending 4 linemen and a secondary as a defensive back, you could send 4 linemen and an actual linebacker. That would change things where Bolton might be enough to do that. There are several guys in this draft that play downhill great, but don't play in space that well, don't really have the coverage instincts that they're looking for currently. So let's see. Looks like Mac Jones is still here. A lot of talk about Mac Jones going in the 1st. And so this might be a spot. This is the scenario where they're at 31 and Mac Jones is still out there. This is where teams come up for them. This is where Belichick might come up and try to get a quarterback. So that's something to keep an eye of. I'm not going to go Leatherwood. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. I think Dan did in his last one. So I'm trying not to redo them. Quite frankly, I'm not sure I want to go real heavy on the Alabama offensive line either. They get beat up. Like Landon Dickerson, I don't know if he went or if he's going to go in the 2nd round in this. But, I mean, he's got serious red flags in the medicals. Like he's not anywhere near a 1st rounder for me. So, like, there's some stuff here. Top safety is on the board. Like I said earlier, we're not going to do that. Dylan Radens, I'm not even sure how you pronounce it. That Dan just did his film yesterday. You guys go back and watch that because he is a really nice athlete, but he's got stuff he's got to work on. He is at best a 2nd rounder in my mind. So he's 40 is even rich for me, but it's definitely not a 1st round thing. So Kadarius Toney, and I know folks are going to want him. I actually like some of the receivers farther down. So we're going to pass on him too. And I'm sure we'll see comments in here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So Dominic would go him here. Tony here. You guys are going to like what I have to say later. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get it done. I know Danilo's not happy because Zabin went off 2 picks ahead of the Chiefs. So that's going to be trouble. So yeah, it comes down to, do you trust Barmore to be a guy that is consistently breaking up offensive lines? Because I'm not sure I've seen that. He is explosive and he can wreck an offensive line pass blocking situation. But I don't know that he can be relied on to do it consistently. So I'm going to skip off him. I do like Eichenberg, and we're going to go Eichenberg. You're right, Highlander. We're going to take Eichenberg because here's the thing. No matter what you think of Ian Book, and I think he is a low round flyer that you can take and see if he develops. But he moves and he runs and his mobility, I think tackles have to be aware of that. And I think that tackle mentality, actually having to be prepared for him to run, actually helps them be prepared for Mahomes to run. So I really like the fit over there. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to take that tackle and give them an option either with Niang in place of Fisher. Somebody's going to be on the left side, and I'm going to be okay with that. We got another trade offer here. Now, this is the Cardinals trying to move back from 48. So not only are they going to offer, do they want 63, but they want additional picks too. I'm not here to give up picks. I'm here to acquire picks. That's what I'm doing. I like that one, Ralph. Only Curtis, because there are other ends in here that I think offer what Spags wants at a lower price point. And the tackles, I think Eichenberg's one of the top tackles for what they want to do here. So I think that that's a better value, not only positionally, but in grade as well. So that's why I'm going there now. We'll see if that holds up in a week or two from now after I've done more film. But let's see. So this offer, we got another offer. Came down to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will never trade with the Chiefs in the first place, but they want to move back from 56. So you're talking about a drop of 7. And they want to switch 4s, and all you're getting out of it is a 6. So no, we're not going to go near that either. That's just kind of silly. 58 for 63 and a 6. No, same situation. So as we see these guys come off, now that's where the serious offers come in. So we are sitting at 63. So if we moved back to 67 and picked up a 4th, I'm here for the top 100 picks. Anybody can get me into the top 100, I'm here for. But they want us to give up 94 to move back twice. No thanks. Let's see. And that's moving back to the 3rd round. We're not doing that either. So here's an interesting one. Freiermuth. Now, I'm all for having another tight end. In fact, I think they need one. But I will say this. I'm not sure at this point with other fish to fry that your backup tight end is really going to be worth it. So I'm going to pass on that. I just did Dylan Moses' tape the other day. And I have to tell you, I am not that comfortable with it. Even here at 63, this is about the range that I'd put him. But I don't think we're going to go there because I don't like the value. Now, Baron Browning, I just started and I've only done one game and he is versatile, but I don't have all the specifics yet. So I'm going to hold off on him and not commit myself. Chaz Surratt, again, he's one of those guys that blitzes really well. He's a great athlete. He can get to the sides, little iffy in coverage, particularly in zone. And I don't see him taking man on any of the 3, almost 4 games that I've watched now. So that's what's kind of holding me off there. It's getting thin here, though, because I'm not seeing any other value in here. So you guys hit me in the chat. What do you think? Let's see if we can make this come together by some kind of miracle. And it looks like you guys, you like Chaz, Kevin. Okay, I got that. Yeah, Creed. Is Creed gone? Creed's got to be gone, right? Let's go over to the centers or the interior line. Let's double check. Yeah, Creed's gone. Now, Josh Myers is a guy that I was looking at just the other day. I haven't broken down his film, but I'm looking at it. I think this is, 63. He's probably going to be there for a while. I'm going to hold off on that for right now. So let's see what you, Delmont, what do you got? Off subject, but what's going on with these legends passing away? I don't know, man. It's like, I think there's more stress on the population than just the people who get COVID. I think there's a lot of stress about worry and stuff like that. Kevin, I like where you're at. Amon St. Brown is really intriguing. In fact, Dan's doing USC film today. He should have something on him and Vera Tucker as well. Both guys that I think are options. And Amon St. Brown is an option here. I just don't know if they're going to use that for him. So what we're going to see is at the end of the day, you want to cover your bases, right? So if it's not going to be, I'm not sold on the Vanderbilt edge yet. I can't even pronounce his name, and I haven't done his film yet. So we're going to hold off on that. You guys are looking like Amon St. Brown. Okay. Is that more worth it than what you see out of Browning? Because like I said, Browning's pretty versatile. So yeah, I think we'll go with the wide receiver. I'm with you guys. If that's what you want, that's what we'll do. We'll get that out of the way. A guy that I think can run the routes that they want and I think can adapt to playing in this system pretty well. I hope. Now let's see. The Lions want to move back. No thanks. We're going to see how this shakes out because it's really intriguing to me. Let's see. Washington wants them to come up. No thanks. Only Knives is upset. I'm sorry there, bud. We're going to see who's left. Don't worry. This is just run through number one. We'll have plenty. Okay, now we're back on the clock at 94. And this is why I did not take Browning, because I am screaming like tires blazing up to the podium with the card for Jabril Cox, because now that is a done deal. And you have your duo for the future with Willie and Jabril. You can play coverage. You can blitz and attack. They're both super athletic. Like, you can do everything that you want to do, whether you want to run big nickel, whether you want to blitz somebody out of that package and not have to rely on the cornerbacks. I think that's a seriously good plan. And, maybe he won't be there next time. We'll see what happens. Let's see who else is in here. What do you guys got? Jake, he just doesn't play well enough for me. Linebacker is probably the position that I watch the most, and he just doesn't cover enough ground. He's weak tackling, gives up goal line stands. Like, he did not have a good season. He's athletic, but in coverage particularly, I don't think that he can use it very well. So again, if they change to a more attacking defense with the linebackers, he would be a much better option. Him, Micah. That's the interesting thing about Zayvon Collins, and it's too bad that he was gone, because he can do it all. He can play the coverage and he can attack. It's a really nice package. Okay, Dominic really likes Miami Brown. We just took a receiver, though, so we're not going back to back. This is what we have. We have a tackle. We have a wide receiver that can play, I think, 3 positions. I can't remember how big he is, but okay, so he's over 6 foot. I was going to say 6 foot, but I think he can do it all. And then we have Jabril. So what does that leave us? Brown's there. Now, here's the thing. I like Trey Sermon, and I know he got hurt. And if you really need to bolster the running back position, if you're not going to get Darryl back and you don't know about Damian, I could see them doing something like this. This is still a little early here, but it's a possibility. Looking down here, LeCount is an interesting pick in trying to allow Juan Thornhill to be more like Tyron. If you wanted to play somebody over the top and let them both come down and play like a double Robert kind of set, you could let LeCount go in there and play in the back, and I think you'd be, fairly comfortable with that. Let's see. Got some folks arriving late. Okay. Nick Bolton, not a fan in terms of a early round pick. That's the only reason, you guys. Let's see. So what we have here. Chuba's a guy that, man, I feel bad for him. His draft stock has really fallen off. From everything I hear, that he's going to be way down here, where he might have been a first rounder certainly a second rounder last year. Man, this is a tough one. And I'll tell you why, because Dalen Hayes is a guy that reminds me a lot of Deshaun Wharton. He played at Notre Dame. I think he wore number 9, you guys. Check him out. He's got ups and downs, but especially in the championship game against Clemson, or whatever that game was against Clemson, he was knocking dudes around. I like his game, and I feel like he's got enough upside and enough round. He reminds me of Alex Okafor. Like, he can rush when he has to. He can drop when he has to. He very much feels like a Spags guy to me. And I will do his film, not only in a breakdown, but in the grades as well. So he would be an option here. It might be a little early for him, but the other guy, let's see. We did go wide receiver, didn't we? Okay, so we have not addressed the edge. So I think we're going to end up going here, but I'm going to tell you this. Anthony Schwartz is going to be gone, but Anthony Schwartz is a guy to watch. Olympic speed. So he's a later round guy that is developmental, that I think you can really, really put some investment in the 4th round, 5th round. I just think at the end of the day, because we went wide receiver early, I think there's bigger fish to fry, and we need some help on the edge, where they could lose Taco. Definitely losing Okafor and Passanio. So there's some holes there. So we're going to take Dalen, because I like his game and I like his upside. And we'll just see how the rest falls out. Let's see. Josh likes Larry. I haven't watched Larry yet. Dan, that's a really good question. The injury kind of perplexes me about Von Miller. I'm not sure how healthy he is, to tell you the truth. But we all know he patterned his game after Derek. And if anybody's going to take Derek Thomas's spot and become that next or the latest evolution of dominant pass rusher, I'd love to see it be Von Miller. Let's see, Patrick. We're going to see what DBs are left. They're definitely on my radar. Doug, glad. I hope that you're enjoying this. Is kind of impromptu, so I'm glad that it's going okay. You guys, let me know in the chat if you're digging this or if you'd rather I just record these or that kind of thing. So, yeah, unfortunately, Avery, you're right. But if it doesn't fall, it doesn't fall. This is how you get in some situations where you say, "Hey, you had a need going in and you didn't fulfill it." Well, if that's the way the board falls, that's the way the board falls. And like right now, we're back on the excuse me. We're back on the board here at 144. It's a compensatory pick. This machine is actually projecting compensatory picks. So there's still an outside chance they could get a third, but it's probably going to be a fourth. And so that's just fine. So that brings us back to looking around. And LeCount's back here. Who else is leaping out at me? Schwartz is still here. Wow. Okay. I didn't think that he would be. Man. Okay, so you guys, we'll flip a coin. You guys tell me right now. Safety LeCount or wide receiver Anthony Schwartz, because there are no interior offensive line here. And that's what Avery was getting at. And here's the problem. I haven't watched Hutcherson yet. Tommy Kramer's okay. Like, I don't know. I just don't know. There's another Kentucky lineman that I liked, but that's not the one, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head. So, okay. So here's the thing. I think they can move Allegretti to center. And so if Kelechi actually came back and LDT actually comes back, and if not, Wiley plays for one of them, then it really is about the tackles in the center. And if Allegretti can fill the center role, then you're feeling okay. In fact, I think Dan and I will probably have a discussion about that and see where it goes. Okay, so you guys look like you're kind of split in here, but looks like leaning towards Schwartz. And I have no problem with that. On my board, they're going to be right about the same spot, so I'm going to be comfortable with either. Avery, you're right. It is Jackson. Let me go see where he is, and let's see if we have a chance to maybe target him, because that's what the teams do. If they feel that they have a grade on somebody and they feel they can get down to him later, at 198, I feel that we can get back to him. So if they have that, even if he goes 20, 30 picks before you think, we're going to have a pick before then. So we're going to leave Jackson as our go-to pick here for next time and try to get back to him, because I do like his game. Very good call. So I think what we'll do, we'll go with the popular opinion tonight, and we'll go with Anthony Schwartz. Now you have Olympic speed to go with Tyreek and with McCole. Anthony, I want to remember 6'1", 195? No, 6 foot, 180. So McCole size, basically. But man, he burns. And I think he's only got upside as a receiver to come. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. Curtis, I can understand where you're coming from. The way this draft is going, we didn't have a shot at a couple of the interior offensive line because we had, better prospects, better graded prospects. So we had to go with them. It does leave them scrambling a little bit, and we'll have to see what we can make up. Let's see. Chris, that's exactly it. Had the chance. It's going to be what it is. And Neil, you might be right. We're going to have to see how it comes back. I actually like the idea of LDT playing a little bit lighter. So I think that might help him. I think he's plenty strong. I think it might help him move a little bit. Let's see. Yes, it is. Let's see. I feel like we should pick 2 line in the first and second round. Only if they're worth the picks. That's the thing. So, I approach this like a GM does. I'm not taking somebody just because they're a positional fit. They got to grade out as well. Yes, and this is a good point. David Moore was. Though a couple of the centers did. Creed was really good down there as well. So what we have here, Shakur is interesting. This guy, Cornell Powell, if you guys saw Trevor Lawrence's pro day the other day, this is the one receiver from his team that he actually threw to, that he relied on him to make the catches when he needed to look good. So I do place some value in that. To have that quarterback trust you is a big deal. Lenoir, is that, or Lenore? I'm guessing it's Lenoir. Both the Oregon corners are small. And I get a lot of live games for Pac-12, so I've seen a lot of those prospects. I think some of them can play. I just don't know if I trust them to go into the slot because I think they're both a little undersized. And, maybe that's okay. Maybe it's not. I got to finish. I'm going to move on to the DBs here after the linebackers, and we'll get to that. Now, we could always take Puka. You guys know that I'm happy to take Puka and put him on there. And right behind him, look at that. It's nice to have KU and K-State right there together. I do enjoy that. Let's see. Now we're at 176. I can't remember. And we have 180 as well. So we're going to go back to Jackson here in a minute, Avery. And we're going to take a look at everybody else. Jack Anderson, I do not remember him standing out in any way for me. Thomas Graham, that's the other corner from Oregon that I was thinking of. Jackson's here. We can take him in a couple of minutes. So let's boil this down to a group think here. We've got 2 wide receivers that we've taken off the board. So we're pretty much done with wideouts. Do we like Reed Blankenship, the Middle Tennessee safety? Maybe. Shakur's a bigger name, but I don't know that means that he plays better. We got us an edge in Hayes. Now you can always double up on those. I don't know Kuntz though. And in terms of explosiveness, I would want more from an edge since we went Hayes, which is more of a power end. So I'm not seeing a whole lot. Somebody asked about tight ends. No, thanks. Nobody in here stands out to me that you have to go get now. That you could sign as a UDFA or a 6th or 7th rounder. So we're not pushing for a specific position here. We're going to take the best player that we can get because we have a number of things that we can add. Elijah Griffin, I'm kind of Let me see. I like Cade Johnson. For a small school guy, it's nice to have those guys around. Okay, so Avery tells me I'm crazy for Powell. I think Powell went, though, didn't he? Yep. You always need DBs that can tackle. Okay, I like that call, too. Curtis, I get Washington games all the time. I actually did a semester or two there, or trimester there, back when I was coming out of high school. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Husky program. They had Taylor and they had Molden. They both went way early. So down here, I don't think we're going to see much. So at the end of the day, we're out of the wide receiver business. So we're talking one of these safeties, maybe another edge. Bobby Brown, I don't remember him standing out to me. Now here's Kramer. I mean, we talked about him earlier, but we're going to go Jackson here in a minute. So what do we got here, you guys? What do you all say? Let's see. We're going to let Molly. Pat is not available. Well, man, every time I do that, it clicks. Molly, he's not available. A lot of Shakur fans in here. Okay, so we can do that. I'm down. And Dan, that is another one that I subscribe to as well. We'll use that some too. We're just kind of bop around because all of them set up their algorithms a little bit differently, and it's just kind of a different concept every time you get onto a different site. So we got to move it around, get different, rankings and that kind of thing. So at the end of the day, I think Shakur might be, what is he, 5'10", though? No, he's taller than I thought. Okay. We're going to roll with it. We're going to take another developmental DB and see what he can turn into. Let's see. You'd be in favor. Jay said, I'd be in favor of blocking tight end in the 7th. The Alabama kid is tough. Yeah. And what, Farrell's the Ohio State kid, right? That did come out. Okay. We're back at 180. We're going to go find our target because we like him. He's coming up here, Drake Jackson. So, bam, we're going to fill in a couple of chances at that interior offensive line. So let's take a look at what we've done now. So we've gotten another depth piece at corner. We've got a couple new weapons for Patrick. backed up the edge, give it a little bit of girth. Now we can look at going there again if we want to. We got another body in Drake that can maybe develop inside. Darrell Williams is still on the practice squad, so I like Darrell's ability to maybe come up, and Darrell can play guard or center. So if Darrell can put it together, there's another option for center, you guys. Let's see what else you guys got in here. Yes, you're absolutely right, Avery. There will be a ton because while it's a little bit better last year, but that's mostly because of Pitts, the class of tight ends is not that great. So we're back again at 217. We're in the 6th round. So this is the point where it's all a crapshoot, even for the teams. Like they have ideas, but this is why they give away 6th round picks. And this is why Veach came back up to get Keys, because you just never know what's going to happen here. And UDFA to 6th round pick is not that big a gap. So let's take a look here. There's that Florida State edge. I know I've seen him play. I don't remember being overly impressed. But, you know, Turk Warden was a UDFA. So there's value there that can be made. Let's see. Josh Palmer won't make the team. Won't make the team. Norwood? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, you see here, you guys, that it comes down to special teams options here, where so many wide receivers and so many corners available late. And there's one that I like. DJ Daniels, I think a developmental guy, but somebody that I think they can get away with. Just making sure you guys don't have anything that I'm overlooking. Because like I said when we started this exercise, down here, I know very few names. I know that that Dan's in favor of Terry, the wide receiver. Rakeem Boyd. I know some folks like him. Let's see. Who else do we got down here? Eubanks? I don't even know Eubanks. So we're not going tight end, I don't think. Let's filter on it. And we'll go in here. Bushman from BYU. Now, if I remember, he's a kind of a mover, like an H type. Maybe not. They don't even have a report on him. So I wouldn't take Jack Stoll, I'll tell you that. So yeah, we're thin here at the tight end position. So we're going back to best available. I'm not sure that is Jamar Jefferson, though. So let's make sure that he is who I think he is. He's basically Tano size. Tano's a little heavier, but okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go with a CB that I know can play and can possibly slide into the slot if they need him to, in Graham from Oregon. And that's mostly just because I know that I've seen him play live and I felt that he could hold his own. It doesn't mean that that's what it's going to be anytime soon, you guys. Alaric Jackson, is he even on the board? I didn't think so. Because you're right. I like some of the things that he can do, like as a body. So, okay, that was our last pick. So we're out. So now everybody else that was left can be UDFA, and they can go attack whoever they want. So let's see. That's the main draft. Let's get to our picks. So this is what we did. Let me get myself off of here now. There we go. And so we ended up. Let me see if I can blow that up now. Okay. Come over here and we'll blow that up. There we go. So we have Liam Eichenberg. Protect Patrick. Good concept, and I think we got that done. I feel pretty good about that. Amon-Ra St. Brown, very interesting player. Again, this was because of the way that the board fell, and we're not doing trades. So normally, I think honestly, I would have traded out of that pick if I could move back a few and pick up another 4th. I probably would have done that. But I like his versatility, and I think that as I get into his tape, and I'm sure Dan will tell me tomorrow whether I'm off on this, I think that he can do the X thing as well as something else. It's going to be interesting. Then Jabril. I'm really happy with the Jabril Cox pick. I think this is actually low for him. I'm not sure if I'm going to grade him out where he'd be a value at 63 for the Chiefs, but certainly here at 94, which is actually 95, if I remember correctly. The Chiefs actually put out the numbers. Dalen Hayes, really like him. I think he has upside. He reminds me of somebody that can play in Spag's system, and I like his all-around game. Again, he's a guy that reminds me of Okafor from the first two games that I watched him, and he was a little more Frankish after that. So always interesting. Let's see. Then Schwartz the burner. So you're adding significant speed. A third one, a guy that's faster than Sammy. If you're going to lose Sammy, you might as well get faster, right? I know that's how Andy and Mahomes think, and that's how I'm going to think as well. Then we get into the prospects that, you hope pan out in Brown, and then Drake Jackson. Avery, that was a great call. I'm glad that you reminded me of him. And then Thomas Graham, I think, is another guy that is going to be a lower down guy that can make a roster, help you on special teams, and maybe he can go back. Isaac. Yeah, if you DM me, hit me up. I think I sent you something on Instagram last week, actually, because I know you joined the members, and I don't think we got you invited because of the timing. So yes, if you're Isaac Vega on Twitter, I will reach out to you. If not, tell me what your handle is in another comment here. Yeah, and I heard the Sherman stuff today too, you guys. I don't think that's a fit any longer. It may be pushing it. Avery's got another suggestion. Adams Jr. out of Arkansas State. And Robert Rochelle. Yes, I've heard his name. I haven't been able to find any film on him at Central Arkansas. So, Avery, if you have a hookup and you have film on him, let me know where to find it. Because you're not the only person who's told me his name. So I'm pretty happy with that. BB, that's the question of the week is will they think so? Oh, let's see. All right. I'm pretty happy with this, you guys. I'm going to save it just in case anybody wants to look at it. And, this is going to be V1.0 live mock RGR. So if anybody wants to go search for that, if you ever want to come back and look at it, they store on there, and it'll give me a link and stuff here. And I'll put that in the comments down below. And when it's done, I'll actually put it in this chat too, so that anybody wants to come back, we should be able to do that. And I think it emailed me the link or something like that. If not, I'll get that in here so you guys can see it again. Not a big deal. Let's see. Any other comments? Let's get back to the comments. And I'm going to get over here. And if you guys have anything here, I'm going to scroll that up so everybody can see it. Let's see if there's any more comments. Trill Williams from Syracuse. I don't remember checking him yet. I'll see what I can find on him. Favorite pick I made, honestly, is probably Jabril Cox. I mean, I don't think he'll be there at 94, but I love his fit. I mean, he's still raw even. Like, he's not even as good as he's going to be. So I'm really excited about that one. Kevin, that's probably my favorite pick. Burger King, he's okay. I would put him probably in the 70s on my system. Again, because he's undersized and he plays downhill great, but he doesn't fit the Chiefs system. He doesn't play coverage that well, in my opinion, at least from the film that I've seen. If you guys see him making all kinds of plays in coverage, y'all let me know and I'll go check that out as well. Let's see. Anybody else? Chris, that's a really good question. I don't think so. And not that they couldn't afford him. I think that they could maybe get him on a contract that they could make work. I don't think that he's worth it. I think anybody's going to overpay him. So I'm not a big fan of that move. Quite frankly, he's a solid receiver, but he's not special in a way that I think helps this offense. And quite frankly, I know they want more speed than that. So Sammy's the low end of the speed that they want. I think they're going to go for even more. So that's kind of where I'm at. Let's see. Would Leatherwood not fit our O-line? I think he can, but I think I don't know. I haven't broke him down yet. I know I think that he's versatile enough. I just don't know if he's strong enough in any one position. So, I mean, and I think that's the problem. The Chiefs have been kind of floating with these guys that are versatile and can do a bunch of things, but they're not excellent at enough of things to stop it when the backups have to come in. You know what I mean? So I think you want to raise the ceiling rather than pull the floor up. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm coming from. And Dan's going to do all the O linemen. He's starting there. And I'll come back through and I'll cross-check them later. Whereas I'm starting on the defense. And I'll have a better idea later in the process. And you guys, we're going to do this every week. So we're going to have plenty of time. Jake, thank you very much. Thanks for the super chat as well. Very much appreciated. I'm glad that it's exciting. I didn't think anybody'd really dig this live. I thought they'd just want to. I mean, we're at 45 minutes. I'm sorry I drug on so long. I didn't plan for that. Frey, I mean, if it falls that way, I have no problem with it. If there had been an interior offensive lineman at 63 that actually had graded worth 63, I would have pulled the trigger. But I didn't see that. Doug Owens, that's a very good question. I know he had a year or two. But I don't think he put it together after that, you know. Status Alpha, I saw we were down at the Senior Bowl some, and I've got access to that film, and he's had a couple of good reps. I liked what he did down there. I have to go back and look at his actual game film and see what's on there. Danilo, I have not. I've not seen him yet, so we'll have to put him on there as well. Had a bad first 2 days of seeing it and not a good thing. True. I mean, that's what it comes down to is your competition against guys you don't know, against colleges you haven't played before. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And Danilo, I'm glad that worked. That's good. BB, I don't have any Razorbacks off the top of my head, but I don't scout by school. So like I'll break down film based on positional need and where they fit. Not only the Chiefs scheme, but mine as well. Because there are things that I disagree with how the Chiefs go about it. You know, like I have my own eye for how I do this. And so this is my draft for the Chiefs. If Veach got the flu this draft day and said, here, you're running it, this is what I would have done. That's kind of the concept. So, and Spicy agrees. So we'll definitely have to add him. Let's see. Joe Jackson, what did you say? What's your confidence is Allegretti as our starter? Dan is saying that we don't need to upgrade if we put strong pieces around him. You know, my only question is, like, I do feel like he improved again. I think he can be solid. The question is Osemele, several people have commented that Osemele might be able and want to come back. I find that hard to believe that Osemele could play again with 2 tendons in his knee, in each knee. That's crazy. But if he does, as long as he returns to what he was even last year, he should start over Allegretti. But Allegretti's earned a starting role, and so I think moving him to center is probably the answer. The question is he just hasn't really snapped in quite a while. I know he did it in camp his first year, and I'm not sure what he did after that. So it's been a while. But yeah, especially if you give him experience around him at the guards, you know, Osemele and LDT, I think Allegretti can get the job done. The mental part, he's had enough time to grow out of the Illinois program and get to the point where he can make the calls. I think that will be the test, and it's about the speed of it, of having a guy in your face more often. You know, look at how many under fronts that they get with a guy, you know, shaded over his shoulder. You got to get things done faster when you're at the center spot. So that's the question. Berger, that's a good question. Can Willie be the Mike? He can certainly be one of the nickels. I don't know if he's ready to be the Mike though. He never had that responsibility in Miss State, so I'm not sure that he's going to get there. But we'll have to see. Kevin said look at Poole and Grant, or safety Catalan. Okay. How many linebackers in this draft are better than Ben Neiman? Not enough. That's the honest truth. There's a lot of guys that are like Ben Neiman. They can play downhill and get lost when they have to turn around and cover somebody. So that's what I see in a lot of these guys. If you look at the rankings, there's just too many guys that don't do that. And then you have the Koromoas that are really a coverage safety that comes into the nickel like Dan. You know, that's I don't see. And again, it is what it is. Your reasonable draft prayer. Mine is Zaven Collins. I like Zaven, and I got to tell you, I'm not sure that he's a first rounder. I know that we all like him, and I know that draft Twitter and these sites love him. I'm not sure that the league sees it as much either. We're going to have some discussions about that because there are a few hitches in the giddy up in certain things, but I love his overall tenacity. I love his overall game. I would think most of the league feels he'll be there at 31. I think his true value is maybe a little bit lower in the 40s or at least the upper 30s. So it should happen, and if they're gonna take a chance on somebody, I'm all in on Zaven Collins at this point. And again, Tulsa tape's hard to find. I've found 3 games, and that's all I got. So if I get a chance to see more, I will. Let's see. FLDB said that JJ Watt is that he's willing to play for cheap as long as it's a contender. Yeah, I mean, and I think that works. DTs are you most interested in? I haven't done them specifically yet, but obviously the kid from Washington, whose name I can't pronounce right now. There's another kid from Pitt that I liked, just in flashes, but I haven't gotten to those guys in my reviews yet. So I appreciate that. Chase, thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Check out CB Miles Jones out of Texas A&M and Peyton Turner from Houston. Okay. I think Miles is already on my watch list, so we will get that done too. Status Alpha, again, those are the only 2 defensive linemen that come to mind. Like, we can go look at it and use. Now, again, these are the rankings of this particular site. You can't say that is the end-all, be-all, but let's take a quick look. And I don't want to keep you guys forever, so we won't take too long at this. But interior defensive line, this feels high for him, just so you know. Who's standing out? I saw a couple of snaps from Darius that I liked, but he's small. And here's Jalen Twyman. That's the guy from Pittsburgh that I was thinking of. I've had several people tell me that the Bobby Brown is worth looking at. I've watched Malik Herring play. He's okay. This seems like a natural area for him in terms of my rankings. We'll see what it comes down to. Let's see. Joe likes Vera Tucker. Yeah, I think Dan's going to end up liking him too. We'll have to. Oh man, I closed that window, didn't I? Okay. I'll pull that back up if I can. Oh, there we go. I can pull that back up. Oh, I'm already signed in, you guys. There we go. Okay, good. So let's put that back up and let's see where Vera Tucker went because I don't remember. Yeah, Vera Tucker went early to the Raiders at 17. Yeah, that's not something that I can pull off. And if they are accurate on that, I haven't watched his film yet either. That's going to be interesting. Okay, let's see. Heard a rumor that Parsons out of PSU might fall quite a bit because of some hazing incident. I hadn't heard that. Did not know. Cody Fisher. I haven't done his film. I saw what Dan found, and I could see him playing inside, to tell you the truth. Really athletic, but I don't know if the power's there. To be able to handle, and you know what the Chiefs want to do? They want to put their tackles on islands and make them handle everything from a speed rush to a bull rush. I'm not sure that he can take an NFL bull rush, to tell you the truth. We'd have to take a look at that. Danilo, no, Farley will be. I took a look at him early last year when I was looking at somebody else. And DBs are going to be my next group after the linebackers. So I will definitely have him on my list. He's not going to be anywhere near available for the Chiefs. So it's a long shot. Patrick, thank you. I definitely will. We will keep it up. Hufanga, sorry, I say that wrong all the time. Dog Logic, I'll check him out. He's on my list to watch as well. Do you buy the report that teams have Rondale over Waddle? Not on your life. Unless they're concerned about the injury thing. If they feel that there's a medical, then yes. because I mean, a medical will drop you 4 rounds. That's perfectly legit. So if that is true, that there may be teams that have him on a medical downgrade. That's what I have for Dickerson. Dickerson's a 3rd round at the earliest for me. Because of those ACLs, like he's just too hurt. There's a chance he doesn't make it through a career. If you can't play through your first contract, you're absolutely no good to me as a draft pick. Let's see, Kevin, what'd you ask? What pick do you think Reed and Veach would pick that we all become surprised over? Whew, that's a good one. They're not going to go running back in the first round again. I'll tell you that. But you might see them stock up on wide receivers, and maybe to the point where, I cut it off at 2 receivers tonight. They might not feel that way. They might go after more. Marcus, thank you. I'm glad that you do. It's interesting doing it this way. I haven't done a mock live before. So, who was worse, Neiman or Zombo? Zombo was a good player. Age caught up with him. I think Neiman tried to put on weight to be more of a downhill, run stopper, and I think that bit him. If he comes back lighter again, he may return to what I thought was his strength in 19 and before in playing coverage. Longmorn. Yeah, we talked about him. He was available the first pick. I decided not to go with him because I'm just not quite as impressed with him as I think I am with Eichenberg. And I'm a little concerned that those linemen are all beat up too. Dickerson's not the only one. Tyler Linderbaum. I have not watched him yet, Chase. I'm not sure if he's on Dan's list. Oh, and that would make sense because Avery said he went back. That would make sense. Can Tano be something next year if they sign him? Tano is what he is. I don't see Tano improving. This was his big thing. This was his contract year. And as Therese used to say, the contract year is undefeated, right? And he wasn't able to get it done. So to me, that says that he's maxed out on his ceiling probably. He's still a solid player. If he wants to come back on a cheap contract, I'm happy to have him as a backup again. But they need somebody that is a designated pass rush guy that can help Frank and Chris get to the quarterback. That's not Tano. It just isn't as much as I would like it to be. Rondell's a freak. Yep, he definitely is. And I'm wondering where you guys are getting these numbers. Because I have the junior numbers, not from Purdue, but I have some junior numbers, and they're always iffy. So I wouldn't take any numbers that you see on any of these guys as gold until you see them run it and get an actual result. What about players who are playing out of position like Snead? And there is some of that. Who were we talking about earlier? The Oregon cornerbacks. They both played outside at Oregon. I think they can both be nickels inside, to tell you the truth. I think they might have to be against the bigger receivers that they're going to see in the NFL. They both played against Pittman and got pretty beat up. So, and you saw what Pittman did in Indianapolis, and Indianapolis got Carson Wentz now. So, I mean, good for Chris Ballard and all the ex-Chiefs that are on that staff. I think they're going down the right direction. I think the Chiefs are going to see them. Yeah, Benjamin, we talked about him. Like his game just wasn't a quality value at the place that we were picking in this particular go. But we'll do this again next week and the week after next at the very latest and see how it goes then. Who takes the biggest step next season? I hope it's Niang. I hope Niang goes from 0 to 120, to tell you the truth. That's just me. Longmore, lateral movement specifically, I would say he's a little above average just from the film that I watched, but that's also very dependent on how he's being coached. I didn't see him take vertical sets that often in the couple of games that I watched. The 45 sets I thought were fine. The thing is, I think he improvises well, and I think he adjusts his angles pretty well from what I saw. Dan will have him on his list as well. And I think the thing is that Book likes to run. And I think that it's very similar in the way that Patrick likes to get out and run. So I think that is kind of like an experience thing that can pay off instead of this guessing game that we see with the tackles, not sure where Patrick's going to be and that kind of thing. So I think there is something to that. Let's see. Neil, he doesn't have to go to Canada. Tano will get a contract in the NFL for sure. I am very confident of that. Let's see. Okay, info. We're going to hit you, and then we're probably going to call it a night right as we hit the hour. Thank you guys for being here. That's awesome. If you are new and you don't know us yet, click the like and the bell and the sub so that you get the next thing. We're always looking for subscribers around here, and all you members, thank you for being here tonight. Will this be the year that Veach trades back, or is he just not something he does? So far, it's not something he does. But I'm going to keep saying it until there's a reason not to. It is the value. It is the good thing to do in this draft for this team. So at that point, you got to have somebody to dance with, right? If he's not getting offers, then there's nothing you can do. But I don't think you have to worry about him trading up. I don't think he's going to be tempted by anybody in particular. No one from Alabama is good. Okay, I'm glad Gooch isn't here because I don't want to see any fights in the chat here, you guys. All right. Thank you all for all of Jake had to throw in a super chat to make sure that I don't sign off yet. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. 200 people. Smash the like. Yes, please. If you would hit that, that always helps us get found by other football fans. And, especially in draft season, we're going to have fans in here that aren't Chiefs fans. And that's fine. We're going to keep doing mocks and try to cover the bases of what players are as well. So thank you guys for all the time tonight and dealing with me kind of doing this last minute instead of a pre-recorded thing. Maybe this is just the way we'll do it. So, all right. You guys have fun. We'll have something for you tomorrow. Maybe something after that. Danila, you hit me up with the plan. And then next week, we're right back to normal Q&A on Monday night. And enjoy your weekend. You guys have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.